Hey everyone, my name is theSirhc and welcome back to another episode here on the Colonies, my single player Let's Play series. This week we got a whole bunch of new content in the snapshots and oh no, I was afraid of that. I wanted to come here and check out our pet phantom Zubat, but he's gone. No, they updated the model of the phantoms and it looks really cool, which is why I wanted to take a look at him. But they also, in one of the snapshots, they made it so that the phantoms despawn during the day, which he shouldn't have because he was named, so he shouldn't have despawned. But now, currently, we're playing in 18W10D, the fourth snapshot of this week. The phantoms now burn in daylight, and so I'm wondering if that is what happened. We had the trapdoors above them, but I'm assuming that doesn't count as a block to hide under. I guess I'm not 100% sure, but I would assume that it's a transparent block, kind of like glass, and I don't think that mobs can hide under glass to not burn. So I would guess that's what happened. Very sad. We'll have to catch ourselves new ones sometime in the future, because that was pretty cool, and I'd like to have a pet phantom. But anyways, new content. Awesome. Hey, it's one of our turtles, Raphael. How's it going? These guys, they stop by every once in a while. I've seen a couple of them like way far off though. They've definitely gone away. But we're gonna go and do some snapshot checking out the new features. The first thing we need to go find is a coral reef. Coral previously was already added as a block to the game, although they have updated the texture, and now it actually spawns in survival, or in the world. So we're gonna go find a coral reef. There's another turtle. Hey, how's it going? And I think I see what we've been looking for. Lots of weird shapes under the water. I went ahead and deleted all the region files of areas that we have not built in again, so we could get some of this new generated terrain. Oh, look at that. We have a coral reef. We have coral in the game. That is pretty neat. Got all these different blocks, different variations. They all have their own textures now. Oh, and there's a little ravine here too. That adds some nice stuff. I like that there's like these spiky versions with like tendrils kind of extending out. And then you have these circular versions, or these like kind of boxy versions that you can go inside. That's really cool. Let's grab some of this. So you can just pick this up with a normal pickaxe and get these different kinds. You can also break these plants. There's 5 different colors: red, blue, yellow, purple, and pink. And that's true for the coral and for the coral plants. So we got like a red coral plant here. You can break this and get the purple coral blocks. We got blue here. We got purple coral plant. Where'd that go? Go pick that up. I want to harvest so much of this. Let's make sure we get a few of each kind. So we got the red coral here. We got pink coral. Grab that. Some aqua affinity would be really nice right now. I think I have purple coral plants. Let's get the pink coral plant. Is that everything? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, nice. Oh yes, fish. This is really awesome. So they added tropical fish, and tropical fish come in all different shapes and colors. I think maybe different sizes too. I can't remember, but they kind of randomly generate. There's like a few different shapes. Like here you can see you have these two, which are the same shape, but they have 2 different textures. And then you have this kind of shape, which is kind of like a clownfish shape, but those are like black zebrafish or something. Looks really cool. Here again, you see that small, or maybe that one's even slightly different than the other one that we saw. But that's so awesome. And you can pick these guys up just like the other fish. It will show up as just a tropical fish bucket, but it has a tag that keeps like what kind of fish it was. So we can go up here and put it down. We'll just put it in here. And there, it's the same fish that we had out there. So that's pretty cool. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And that answers one of my concerns before which was we didn't have clownfish. They added all the other fish that we already had. We had cod, the salmon, and the pufferfish, but they didn't add the clownfish. But now the clownfish are a type of tropical fish that you can get, which I'm kind of looking around seeing if we can find any, but I don't see any. Oh, nice. Those are like kind of like, where are they, tigerfish or lionfish? One of those. Got a little purple thing. That is so cool. Before we talk about the coral, I wanted to mention that many of you have told me you can bone meal underwater, and that is really awesome. So you can bone meal anywhere underneath water on any blocks as long as they're not transparent, and it will grow seagrass like this. And of course you can bone meal the seagrass and it'll make too tall seagrass. So that is going to make like decorating underwater, adding plant life underwater much nicer, much easier. So with this coral is pretty awesome, and it's almost nighttime, so we'll have to go to sleep here soon. But if you place coral out of water, it gives you dead coral. We picked this up and it will give us dead blue coral. It has to be touching water for it to actually stay alive and stay colorful. Now you can put coral on top of water. So if you wanted to make a colorful floor using this, you could hide water underneath the floor. But each coral has its own variants. So we got, let's see, let's put the dead coral back here. We got the red with its dead coral, yellow, purple, and pink. And let's sleep real quick. Now I have to say, I'm actually a lot more excited about the dead coral. What I first thought about when I saw this was gray textured blocks. I love gray textured blocks. Everybody loves gray textured blocks. This would go amazingly with stone. That was like my first idea. A lot of times you'll see people with kind of enhanced vanilla textures, and they'll have like cobblestone variants or stone brick variants. And some of them look kind of like this. Maybe not quite like these, but similar. And yeah, I think it would be awesome to just get tons of this dead coral, and you could make a pretty good road out of it. In fact, I'm just going to, I feel bad about wasting all this colorful, beautiful coral, but just to kind of show what you could do with this, you know, you could make a nice path out of here, a nice stone rocky path, or put this in a wall. You know, some of these are maybe a little bit too crazy. Maybe you wouldn't want to use all of these. I think this one kind of stands out a lot, but really I like it. I really like it. And you could do some really awesome things, and it just adds to the texture variation that you can do. We also have these coral plants. These have to be placed in water, and oh, I'm actually surprised you can place it there. That's cool. I wonder if that's just because of the new, that actually makes me wonder, can we, no, okay, so seagrass still needs to be, have a block of water above it. I'm sure kelp is the same way, but these coral plants you can place in one deep water. That's really cool. So we can place those anywhere as long as it's in water. I wonder if it'll work in flowing water. I suppose that's not going to flow. If we do that, okay, it will not do it in flowing water. It does need to be in a source block. Another thing you all told me is that there is actually a chest that spawns in every single one of these ruins. You just need to dig for it, and that looks a little weird. We'll talk about the underwater like stairs and slabs later. I'm surprised that generated like that though. So somewhere in here there is a chest, and you have to dig for it. This one's gonna be kind of hard to find because it's sort of spread out in here. But I think as far as I've seen, is it? Nope. Thought maybe that was a signifier. But as far as I've seen, you don't need to like dig way down, and you don't need to usually break stone or anything. Although maybe it's underneath like one of these. Oh, come on. Of course, this one's gonna be like the hardest one to find here. Ah, I found it. Haha. So we got some coal and wheat in there. I'm gonna actually leave that there because my inventory is full. In fact, I'm gonna put some of this stuff away. So this one had that chest. Let's go find some of the other ones. This one is right in the open, and this the water they're having some issues with the water here, like in spawning. You can actually fix this. Oh, there's like a seagrass in there. That's weird. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Buried treasure map. All right, we'll take a look at that. Let's go see if there's whoops. Why did that? Let's try and put it there. Buried treasure maps. I don't know if those were in the last snapshot or if those are new to this one. But let's go see if we can find these other chests. Oh, there's another buried treasure. Let's put these blocks away. Our inventory is going to be super full by the end of this. We got another one here and another buried treasure map. Awesome. So these all have different IDs. Okay. And then this one's nice and easy to find. And another buried treasure. I'm surprised they don't make those a little bit more rare. I hope they do, because otherwise, like, that's too much buried treasure for one person. So these buried treasure maps, they're kind of like the mansion maps or the water temple maps. They'll have a marker there on the map, and it'll show you like kind of the land formations, and it'll show you where you are. Oh, and it looks like they're all the same, huh? That's interesting. So are they always going to show? They might always show the nearest buried treasure. I guess that's maybe how it works. As soon as you look at it, it will show you the nearest buried treasure that hasn't been like found, basically. So anyways, we're at the top of the map, so we need to head south, which is this way. And then eventually we will come upon these little islands, and then we can try and find where that X is. And from what I've seen, these buried treasures usually aren't too far away. As you can see, we're already loading in the area. So looks like these are the islands that we're looking at. I think it's going to be right by this one, this long skinny island, either this one or that one. Yeah, it looks like it's this one. So we'll come over here, and mobs are spawning. There we go, it's daytime, mobs have been taken care of. Let's take a look at this map. So we're very close to it. We're like right on top of it right here. It looks like it's kind of off this way a little bit. Now we're on the map. It's going to be somewhere around here, and we need to find it. Now this is the hard part, is where is it? Trying to think of where to even start digging. Aha, I found it. All right, so one thing you can kind of do is look around for any anomalies. Like here, there's just kind of a block sticking out. Sometimes if the chest is in the wall here, there'll be like a stone block or something in front of it. So that's the best way, so you don't have to dig around through everything. But there we have our first buried treasure. That is pretty cool. We got some cooked salmon, TNT, some iron. And is there anything I can leave behind so I can take some of this stuff? There we go. And that means all of these are kind of useless now. Now I'm wondering if you can get multiple buried treasure maps from like one ruin, and if you don't open them up right away, if you just open one up, go to that buried treasure and then open up the next one, if that'll work, if you can find multiple treasures. Oh, my pig died. Why did my pig die? That's weird. Okay, we got another ruin here, and what I want to find out is if we can find multiple buried treasures from the maps in a single ruin. So we have this one. Now I'm thinking as soon as you take them out of the chest, they're going to, like, it will pick a buried treasure, the nearest buried treasure. But we're going to test that out. I've uncovered a bunch of chests around here. Let's see. This is the village or the one that we found, was it last episode? But I regenerated it, so now we have all the stuff back. All right, so there's another one. So I'm gonna take both of those. I'm gonna keep one in my inventory, and then we're going to go find where this is. Looks like our buried treasure is going to be right here somewhere. So is there anything out of place? Anything that looks a little odd? Maybe... oh, right there. Yep, see, you can see the stone block just sitting on the side. Break that, and there's the chest. So you don't have to dig like crazy. Oh, diamonds, yes! Very awesome. That is very nice. Also some prismarine crystals. So we'll just take all that. Actually, I should even just take this chest so I don't think there's something here in the future. And now my question is, so we have this one. This is the map that we had. If I take this one, is it going to be the same one? It is. Okay. Now I came back to the same underwater ruin, and I think this one, yeah, this one has another buried treasure map. So if we take this, it is the same. Huh, interesting. That I didn't expect. There's one more test I want to do. So we found that buried treasure right over there. You can see us on the map yet. There's another ruins right here, and there is a buried treasure map in here. And is this one going to be, it is the same. Okay. So that means, that was the one that I just picked up, right? I'm pretty sure. So that means that it's always going to give you the map of the closest treasure, it seems like. Even if you've already found that treasure. Interesting. I was thinking that as soon as you found a treasure, it would give you a new map. But, alright. So it seems like even if you find multiple maps in one underwater ruin, you're still only going to get one buried treasure. Even if you find another ruin close by, you're probably just going to find the same buried treasure, which means that my statement before was wrong. These things are a little bit more rare. It's not, you know, a matter of finding multiple, you know, buried treasure from one ruin, even though you do get multiple maps. This new snapshot is amazing. I love what they've done with these slabs and stairs and all of the like non-solid blocks and how they interact with water now. They're really honing it in. They're still kind of making tweaks here and there, but what they have right now, it's so awesome. Look at this. We have just this tiny little puddle of water. I came in here to make some water breathing potions, and I needed a place to fill up the water bottles, and I figured, hey, I could just put water right here. So yeah, I guess let's go explore this. So now if you place a non-solid block or a non-full block underwater, they actually look correct. You can do ladders, you can do cobblestone walls. Those don't appear right away, but if you right click on them with water, they get fixed, which is awesome. We can do some fences, we can do a chest, we can do, did I do trapdoor? We can do trapdoors. Doors do not work. Fence gates actually don't work either. If you right click this with water, it won't do anything. Doors don't work either. Which those I'm assuming it's because they're too tall, but they've been kind of playing around with this a lot this week and changing it. I think anvils don't work. Nope. I don't believe hoppers do as well, but those are things that they might be adding yet. They've been adding a lot more blocks and kind of fixing some of the issues through this. So this is really awesome. I love it, and I like the way that they did it. So what happens is if we come up here, we place like a slab, it will turn this block into a source block, and that water can flow out and do whatever it normally does, and you can pick it back up. That is cool. Also, the water will only flow out of like the open faces. So here we have a stair, and it won't flow out the back. Now part of that is because it's trying to get to the lowest point, so it's going over there. But let's see if we turn this stair around. So now see, it's not flowing out the back, which is really cool. And the coolest part about that with like stairs is that you can actually make kind of an enclosure, and this just isn't updating. Let's do that, put it back down. So you can make like a tiny little pool here. What's going on here? Why is that not full? There we go. You can make a tiny little pool, which is really awesome. Oh, that looks amazing. And if you were to break one of these, suddenly the water will flow out that way. Actually, if we break this one and this one, you can make kind of a little water chute that sends water out that way. Oh, this is amazing. This is my favorite part about it. You could make a slightly bigger pool with some slabs and put some blocks around it. like this. I don't know, do something like that. That one kind of looks weird. But if we put a stair there and then grab water and fill this whole thing up. Now, one thing that I kind of wish would happen is if they actually spread to each other. Like water won't go into these blocks and fill them. So you can't make like a source block here. If I take water out, it just stays like that, which is kind of neat. It gives you more detail options, but I was really hoping to use something like this as a water source. Like you could actually pick out water and it will spread and fill up. One thing that's kind of cool is you can actually make hidden water. So like this right now is actually water. And people, I know I saw on the Reddit, people were using that for like activating secret doors. You could have like an observer block, do that. I wonder if you could fill, a water bottle. Let's drink this out of water that you can't actually see. So if we put water there, and you can, ooh, that is pretty neat. This also means that you should be able to make hidden water sources for like sugarcane. So we can now plant sugarcane there, because that counts as a water source block. And if we pick this up and put it like over here by the dirt, and we take a hoe, that will get hydrated. I'm actually not sure if that's hydrated right now, but it will eventually get hydrated if it's not already. I can't tell. It's hard to tell with without a... Looks slightly darker. That could just be lighting though. And actually, we could play around with that over here in the farm. So now we could take these trapdoors that we have here and put them inside the water and do that. I could even put like a stair there or something and it would work the same, or a slab. If I took this out, oh, I guess that breaks the, takes out the water source. If you break the block where the water source is in, it's the same as taking away the water source. But I could put a slab there and that there's still water there. I can pull it out there. So that's pretty cool. Although I think I want to keep the trapdoors, but I do like the idea of having them lower so they're not sticking up as far. That's pretty cool. Seriously, this snapshot just keeps getting better and better. You can make like drainage pipes. That looks amazing. Also, I think you can get in here. There we go. You can actually use it as like a secret entrance and into your base. So that's pretty neat. I don't think I mentioned signs when I was placing all the items underwater, but you can do signs as well. They look nice. And another thing to mention, another thing to note is that all of these items will still block water, which is really awesome. Of course, you can place water inside of them, and they'll become source blocks, and apparently I can't get it back. I think the blocks that you can like interact with, you can't pull the water back out of, which is a little weird. But yeah, all these blocks will still block water, so you can use them when you're making item transportation things, item water channels, or if you're trying to move mobs around. You can still use the blocks for that, but we can also use the blocks for beautiful aesthetic things as well, which is great. And there goes another episode to the 1.13 snapshot. I did actually plan on working on this village today, but there's just so much new content coming out, and that's what I love about doing this this single player series, is that we can play around with the new snapshots, check out these things as they become available, and yeah, it makes for some fun episodes. But I do feel like we've been really going very slowly here on this village. I did get a bunch of work done though. I did a whole bunch of terraforming throughout this place. Maybe we'll hop into spectator mode real quick just to take a look at it from above, get a nice view. Oh, it is so much smoother. No more holes filled in all the caves, all the little water puddles. Just kind of made the transitions a lot nicer, all the lines a lot nicer. Got rid of all the little grass too. I have to say, I can't stand all the tiny pieces of grass everywhere. Like this right here, when that is everywhere, it bothers me. I can't stand looking at the land. I need a nice clean slate. Later on, we'll come back in and we'll add some of that here and there, patchy grasses, to areas that need it. But for right now, like it's hard for me to look at this land and kind of plan things when it's filled with grass like that. And it's even worse now because you know, I've moved the dirt around so much so you could see very clearly the areas that I've adjusted and the areas that I've left untouched. But I still have some plans for this area. I didn't finish this back here, but I roughed in a little road that's going to be going up this hill and into this area. I think back here I'm going to put some water, make a little pond there. That's basically how it generated in, just like that. And it looked like a nice place for water. And I've gotten rid of all the other ponds because they don't really fit in our big fields here. But tucked in there, I think that should work pretty well. I want to do some adjusting out here. I think I'm actually going to get rid of this whole landmass right here and make a nice passageway through here. Because as it is now, like, this is very tight corridors. You wouldn't be able to get a ship through here. And it's just, there's not a lot of space in the water. And I'd like to get rid of that. So I think I'm going to get rid of this part and this little island here. I think I'm even going to kind of cut this back a little bit, this little peninsula. And let's end off today with the comment of the episode. It says, coral was probably added to get feedback of the texture. It's going to be changed now because it looked too smooth and dull. About the unfinished river, you could add a lighthouse on the island, ? And that was from JBip. Thank you for that comment. And I don't know about the coral. I mean, the texture that they had, obviously, like, you'd think that they would know that it was bad. And the fact that they only had like one texture for all 5 coral, it almost seemed like that was just a placeholder texture. And the fact that they had, you know, 5 completely new textures ready the next week, all good to go. Like, maybe they did plan on that being the texture, but it just seems like they put it out just to put it out there instead of making it a bigger release or whatever by adding it with the actual coral generation, which we now have. So whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just happy to have that. Now we just gotta wait for the trident. I don't like them adding things without incorporating them. I mean, I know it's snapshots and they're still working on it. It's not like a full release, but that always bugs me with Mojang, how they just incorporate things, even in full releases sometimes, that aren't fully thought through or developed. Anyways, on to the important part of this comment, the unfinished river and the lighthouse. I had a couple people say that we should have added a lighthouse here, and well, I didn't. I'm sorry. You guys do know me very well. Lighthouses are great, but I decided not to because this really isn't the best spot for one. We are going to have lighthouses here, but they're going to be closer over there. I think we're going to put one over there by that big bay, and then there's a spot over there that would work pretty nice. So I decided to just raise up the land here. Took tons of dirt. I've gone through a lot of dirt in this whole terraforming, and also shovels. This is the second time I've broken this shovel, so I need to go repair that thing. Luckily, we have some diamonds now. I went caving for so long trying to find diamonds, and finally had to give up and just dug a branch and just immediately found 2 veins of diamonds, which with my fortune gave me like 20 some diamonds, which is pretty nice. But yeah, so we have a big field here. And I think it turned out a lot better. I think it makes more sense than having just the island there. So I'm pretty happy with that. Anyways, next episode, hopefully we can get started on here, start getting these roads in place and getting the fields done. I want to get that stuff started, and all like the walls and stuff, walls and things and stuff in place around the fields so we can get those growing, because it's going to take a lot of crops. I mean, I have quite a few wheat seeds, but it's probably still going to take more than what I have. And if we put a lot of potato and potato and carrot fields, we're going to need lots of that, beetroots, and it's going to take a while to grow that stuff up. So I'd like to get those kind of in place so that they can be growing and I can spread them while I'm working on the rest of the village. Anyways, that is going to do it for today. I hope you have enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, folks.